So before we get started today at 8 p.m. Central European Time, Sleeve Chief has their Sunday drop, and listen. I know how y'all feel about Flunder, but I think these sleeves are really, really pretty, actually. So if you're playing Flunder or if you just really like them, I would suggest picking them up because they look amazing and they are custom art in collaboration with Art of the Cards. And by using my code SHADOW, you get 5% off your entire order. So make sure to hop on their site and check everything out. So for today, Fire Kings are coming. I think it is the best structure deck of 2023, and here's everything you have to know about it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, as well as leave your thoughts in the comments if you're gonna be picking this deck up. We're gonna go through all of the cards and everything you have to know, a combo, and some other things as well. So let's jump straight into it. So Fire Kings have been doing extremely well in the OCG ever since the release of some support cards, but over here we can still play this deck for the time being until the support arrives in the TCG as well. So we're gonna touch upon that later, but first we need to sort of talk about everything that's new from the structure deck. And basically this deck, everyone is saying it, and I think that's very on point. It's just Unchained, but fire. That's pretty much what it is. It is a mid-range deck, but these new cards are really, really strong. So judging by the OCG, this deck is going to take the TCG meta by storm, and we have to be prepared. A couple of the new cards, the most important one probably is the legendary Fire King Ponix, because it is a level 1 fire, meaning that consistently you can get to it via Sinful Spoils. I get that the engine is expensive, but the structure decks are really cheap, and I think you're going to be able to play this for quite some time, especially with all of the support that's been announced. So yeah, if you're willing to risk it, you can pick up Sinful Spoils, play it together with some other decks as well, but also get the structure decks, and I think you're going to be very happy with that. There's so much potential in these cards, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's read through them and then we'll see what's happening. So if your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your grave if it was there, or hand even if not. We know how these effects work. It's just like Salamangreat Gazelle being added off of Silent Mining. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy one fire, beast warrior, or winged beast monster in your hand, deck, or face-up field, and you get to basically gain attack equal to half the destroys monster attack it had there until the end of the turn. The attack gain is not so important. The fact that you get to destroy it, specifically in deck, is what's really, amazing about this card. Moving on, we have Fire King High Avatar Kirin. So during the main phase, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do, you get to special summon this card. If it is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King monster from your hand or grave, and then you can destroy one card on the field. So this one is very similar to Fire King Avatar Arvata, which is a really nice card because it's a negate all on its own, which is just so nice for a level 4 just main deck effect monster. So this one basically gets to negate an activation of a monster effect, and if you do, destroy one other fire monster in your hand or field. So again, destruction that's going to work together with other cards, but mainly I'm talking about this card not just because it's seeing play in the deck, but if this card is destroyed, bring out a beast warrior, or winged beast that's fire. The effects are negated, it's also destroyed during the end phase, but the new green guy, the Kirin, is basically Arvata, but it's better going second because on top of you bringing something out, you also get to pop a card. So immediately we see a lot of potential in this card, and the Barong is also seeing play, because in your combo, you're going to be able to destroy this, and then during the next standby phase, you get to add a Fire King card from your deck to your hand. So immediately with Garunix, being able to destroy something on summon, you get to have all of these effects that work for you, just like Barong or Arvata bringing something back, as well as this actually if you're going second. So this gets you access to all of these really strong effects. But what's really tying the deck together is Ponix. If your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. This is really nice. It's just a free special summon. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Fire King spell trap from your deck to your hand. And during the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed and sent to the grave, you get to add this card from the grave to your hand. It is mandatory, so you need to keep this in mind. But this is what's getting you to your spell cards. And the Fire King Island is really nice. It is still going to be seeing play because this is what actually, this is a diagram. That's a great comparison, and diagram was busted into Draco, and Fire King Island is able to destroy a monster in your hand or one that you control. And if you do, you get to add a Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. So essentially, this one triggers when something was destroyed, but it doesn't need to be in the hand in order to trigger. So usually you would be destroying something, adding this, getting to special summon it pretty much for free, and then getting an additional effect. So you can see already how things are starting to work together. But this card is also really, really nice. Sanctuary of the Fire Kings says, when this card is activated, you can place one Fire King Island from your deck face up in your field zone. So this gets you to Island via Ponix. You'll see the little combo we have. And once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by card effect, you can destroy one fire monster in your hand or face up field instead. So it's also protection. And then this last part is really, really important. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can, immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon one fire Xyz monster using only Fire King monsters you control as material. So let's check out the levels. This level and this level are the same. And we also have a new Xyz monster from the structure deck. So let's read through the Xyz first. And basically it needs 2+ level 8 monsters. So it's actually generic, but via this effect, you just get to use the Garunix and the Kirin usually to go into this. So if this card is Xyz summoned, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. And you also get to detach one material from this card, target a spell or trap card on the field, destroy it, and it gains 500 attack. And then it has another effect, as if the first two aren't enough. If it's destroyed while it has material, you can special summon Fire King monsters from your grave up to the number of materials this card had. Usually in your combo, you're going to be going for this XYZ to disrupt your opponent while they are trying to play. Then there's Fire King Sacred Immolation. Now, all of these names over here, I'm not certain, about the translations and everything, but let's just pretend that's what the actual translation is. Target the same number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls, destroy them. So this is really nice because it doesn't limit you. Like, for example, Blackout limits you, but this one, you just get to target the same number, so you decide what you feel like is an actual problem. And if a Fire King card you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use one of the effects per turn, so if you use it as disruption, you cannot also protect. So these are the new cards, and of course here we have Tenki as well. I wanted to talk about it because some of the support, you'll see. You won't be needing Tenki in a couple months, but for now, I think Tenki is really important. Obviously, being able to search a Beast Warrior, and your Beast Warrior is, let me just go ahead and find it. You have Arvata as well as Barong. So both of them are going to be able to help you in your combo because for the Ponix, you're just using the Sinful Spoils engine anyway. So there's that. And yeah, your extra deck over here, I just created it from an OCG list, but as you can see, it's very similar to how extra decks are looking right now. It's just a lot of these link ones, so you get to link it off and climb into stuff like SP as well as IP, which there are going to be some really nice combos post the next core set. But we'll talk about this a little later. And yeah, you have a couple of your fires. Of course, you need Hida. You have Sunlight Wolf. Dark is really nice. And Celine to get into Access Code. Now, this card, I think the foil printing of this card is still fairly cheap. So if you want to play this deck, I would suggest picking up the foil as opposed to playing with, like, I think it's rare or common is the other version. But it's also part of your end board if you go for this combo. And then you also have stuff like Heat Soul to just get you more advantage. So for the most part, what you're going to be doing is we're going to take a look at the Ponix combo. This is just a 1-card combo, so then you can add on top of it and go into more monsters and end on like IP as well as other things. So as for the most basic combo, with Ponix, since it's able to search you for a spell or trap card, you go for your Sanctuary, and then Sanctuary gets you to Island. So immediately one card gets you 2 additional ones, which is amazing, with no neg. So yeah, Island gets to pop the Ponix via its diagram type effect, search for Garunix, which triggers on the next available chain, special summons, and then has another effect where it destroys. Usually you're going to be destroying in deck, and you can pop the Barong. Or if you're trying to get additional bodies, you can just pop Arvata or the green one, special summon something out like a Ponix, go into Linkuriboh, go into SP, banish something, continue going. But it's usually like a going second play. So for going first, this is actually going to be the only play we do. Very basic. And you just pass. Your opponent tries to play, or first you're going to do your standby phase effects. So Barong has to search you. It's also mandatory, if I'm not mistaken, add 1 Fire King card from your deck to your hand. Yes, it is mandatory. So you search for Avatar Kirin, and then you're going to get your Pawn X back into your hand. Again, mandatory effect. So right now you got a card for Kirin to be able to destroy it and special summon itself. So it's free because on the next standby phase, you get Pawn X back since it doesn't ever banish itself from the field or grave or anywhere. It's just, again, in the grave, goes back to your hand. So it's like infinite pluses and value. And yeah. Okay. Deactivate a card. You're going to chain your Kirin because it is a quick effect and we are during the main phase because your opponent just, I don't know, is bad and didn't do want it in draw phase. But you special summon, so they search. Here we have an Ajama, which you can pitch. Okay, so your opponent special summoned. So this condition was fulfilled. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons, you can Xyz summon. So we're going to Xyz summon, and you destroy all of your opponent's monsters. You do need to keep in mind that all other monsters on the field are going to be destroyed. So if you have any of your own effects, usually they're going to trigger, like you're always going to have something that's like a plus in the graveyard, but just keep that in mind. If you have any other monsters on the field, try to use their effects first if there's like an SP or IP or something, so you don't just pop your own stuff. And that's pretty much it, you know. You get to pop their stuff and just continue going from there because you will probably have additional disruptions. In general, you're gonna wait for your perfect opportunity to Xyz summon. And this is just the most basic combo, which these combos are gonna get more complex after the new cards are released. So we are gonna hop back into DB and we're gonna talk about these new cards very briefly. And I can make more content about this, but since this doesn't come out for a month or something like that, it doesn't really matter that much. All I'm saying is this deck is really, really nice. So just pick up the structure decks and be ready for the next meta. So okay, in Maze of Millennia, we're getting Bonfire. So Bonfire gets to add a level 4 or lower Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. So this is Rhoda for Pyros. And Bonfire is really, really nice because your Pyro that you're going to be searching is Snake Eye Ash. And Snake Eye Ash on normal or special summon gets to add a Populace. Now this one is coming out in Phantom Nightmare, which is after Maze of Millennia. But this is a free special summon, which because it's a Snake Eye card, can get you to original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye. So essentially, you're just adding a lot of consistency to your deck, and this is what's really going to make it so good. And there's the Bestower of Flames, the Promethean Princess as well. So this revives a fire. During your main phase, you can special summon one fire monster from your graveyard, which means that you get to link climb, make it, bring something back, get the effects off of the cards that you're bringing back, and it's gonna be really, really nice. There's Flamberge Dragon in some of these combos as well, because you actually get to, since it's sent to the graveyard, you will special summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from your grave. So if this gets sent away for Promethean Princess, it can bring back both of these. You have 2 bodies, and then Promethean Princess brings back the Flamberge Dragon again. So all of these combos are going to be insane. You're going to get so much value out of everything. And that's why I wanted to make this video today, to just talk about all of the potential and how Pyro dominated the meta is actually going to be, especially at the beginning of 2024. Usually these ratios are going to be, you know, your go-to. And then we need to fill up the rest until we get to 40 with hand traps. So that's what's also making this deck really nice, is the fact that it doesn't have a gigantic engine. So then all of this can be filled up with the likes of Ash, Impermanence, Valor, Nibiru, whatever you feel like playing. You have your quick XYZ to destroy everything, your other pop with Immolation, just being able to go for SP, IP, and the Amphibious Ambler Whale. There's a lot of potential. There's new combos in the next year, and I'm super excited to see this deck develop and, you know, to see everything that's going to be happening with it. So please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you like the deck by itself, you know, if you feel like it's going to be meta, if you're going to be playing it, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.